Aloha, welcome to Caddell Cuisine. I'm Nadia Caddell, and today I'm very excited to show you how to make ahi poke. This is such a big staple for us here on the islands. It's such a delicious meal, but I've noticed that even on the mainland it's getting more and more popular, and I want to show you how to be able to make it at home for a few reasons. One is it's kind of difficult to sometimes get at the store. They're either run out or it's already been sitting there for a long time and you're not going to get the same flavors. So with this recipe, before we start, I want to give you just 2 tips of what to do when you're at the grocery store to be able to make sure that you get the best ahi. So tip one is this. When you're at the seafood department and you're asking for the ahi or the tuna, you can ask for sashimi grade, and that's going to be this really high quality of ahi tuna. And also when that comes out, or when you see what they have as far as your selection, that you're looking for the color. This is a big indicator as to how fresh this fish is. If it's really vibrant and pink and bright and light color, this is a really good sign. However, if you're picking up browns, tans, or grays in the tuna, then it's starting to kind of get older on the older side, and that'll really mess with the flavors of this dish. So if possible, the freshest fish equals the freshest flavor and the more enjoyable it can be. So tip 2, right before jumping into that recipe, is this: that when you buy this, you make this recipe pretty quickly, just meaning in the sense where you're not buying it and then you end up making it 4 or 5 days later for the same reason, because of the freshness. So I know here on the islands, on Kauai, we are blessed with fresh fish, but this is something that can hopefully help you. And let's just go ahead and get started with this recipe. Let's go grab some chopsticks and let's eat.
We're going to start this recipe off by thinly slicing a sweet Maui onion. Don't worry if you don't have a sweet Maui onion, you can just do a yellow onion. So we want to thinly slice that and place that in a bowl. Next, I'm going to add in the soy sauce. And once that's added in, we're going to go in with the toasted sesame seed oil. This gives it a lot of really great flavor, especially incorporated in with that soy sauce. So next, what I really like to add is furikake. It's so delicious. It has that seaweed in it, some sesame seeds, and I just think it adds an extra little kick of flavor. If you don't like it, that's okay. You don't have to add it in. And next, we're going to add in toasted sesame seeds. If at all possible, I would highly recommend the toasted. The flavor is just so much better. But if you just have sesame seeds, that's all right as well. And as you know, I really like spicy food, so I love to add in some dried chili pepper flakes. If that's too many for you, again, you can customize it and do a little less, or none at all. And then, very important, some thinly sliced green onions. So really important, before you refrigerate this, we're going to mix it all the way, completely incorporate all of that flavor. This is going to be our marinade for the poke. Then we're going to do some macadamia nuts. I just personally like to top off my poke with some toasted macadamia nuts, just kind of thinly chop those up. It's just a personal preference, and I like to have kind of like that crunch at the end of the poke. So this is a good time for me to kind of get those ready. You can set those off to the side. So with this marinade, we're going to refrigerate this. It should look something like this. I find that you get the best flavors with the poke if your marinade has kind of been sitting and refrigerated for at least half an hour. So you can set your timer, you can saran wrap this or put it in a different container, whatever's easiest for you, but let's refrigerate this marinade for now. As that's sitting in the refrigerator, let's go ahead and cut our ahi slab. So this is just a personal preference for me. I don't necessarily love my poke to be cut into huge chunks. I don't know why, I just really prefer small little pieces. So you can slice it and dice it this way if you'd like. You can kind of see from what I've cut here is they're small bite-sized pieces. It's a personal preference. I just find that I really enjoy it that way, and when I'm making this, it's how I like it. So that it can kind of look like that. So once your ahi has been refrigerated as well, It's been about 30 minutes to an hour. You're ready to incorporate the two together. So I just get a bigger bowl, as you see here, put in the ahi, and then with your marinade that's been sitting as well, you can now fully incorporate the two together. I do this because I don't necessarily like my poke to be marinated or sitting for hours together. I find that it's not as fresh and doesn't taste as good as well as if I can just do this for about half an hour. It should pick up enough flavor that way. So mix it in, and then I'm going ahead and putting it right back into that storage container just because I find it easier this way. And if we want to head down to the beach, we can enjoy it, just kind of bring it on the go. So after it's ready to go, you can have a little bowl ready with your preferred rice and kind of serve that. I like to make sure to add in those onions. If you've got avocado, I highly recommend it. It's really good with this dish or any other topping really that you'd like. And it's at this point that I'm going to add in extra green onions and those toasted macadamia nuts that I was talking to you about earlier. It's just my preference, but I think it's delicious. Give it a try and let me know what you think.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this recipe. As you saw, it's so simple, but the marinade for this ahi poke is delicious. If you don't have all of these things, you don't have avocado or anything like that, you can add in whatever you'd like. I know I personally like to add avocado, green onions, macadamia nuts, or whatever you have. Sometimes I'll make a spicy sriracha aioli for it as well, so you can really make this your own. It's beautiful with the flavors, it's super delicious, and I just hope that you're able to enjoy this at home. As you can tell, it looks something like this. So super easy to make, and you know, just top it over with rice and enjoy. That's yum. If you want to go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, follow, maybe share this with somebody else, maybe send them a text and see if they want to check out and make some poke on their own time as well. So thank you so much. Aloha, have a beautiful day, and we will see you on the next video. I forgot the word important. Importante, es so importante. Side note, just like for funsies, side note, like shout out to Sephora, cause your girl was looking a hot mess this morning, like a mess. And they got all kinds of creams and lotions, like all the creams and all the lotions. So brought to you by Sephora. That's the way I like you. That's a wrap.